Please subscribe and press on the bell icon and never miss the upcoming updates from Hitam Ayurveda.
People all in the water. And today most of the companies are creating such a situation so they work 24 hours. There's a gym in it, there's a restaurant in it, there's a club inside that. Let's go to the ashram Swami Dayanand, the disciple, the senior most disciple of Swami Chinmayanand. I took him there, and when Swamiji started telling him stories, imagine he is a director of Indian from medicine, American educated, Harvard. He said, Swamiji, this goes above my head. So they are not tuned to listen to understand this. He came out with a book called 18 Sutras of Management. And what are the 18 Sutras? The 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. And today they're supposed to be one of the world's best management texts, which I didn't know. Last week I went. And then as a child you can start listening. So this time I was hunting what are the books that I should take for Tatwaprakashini. Talking high with philosophy doesn't help. Now many of you come and say, sir, how do we change ourselves? Which means you basically know that you need to have a change. You all are good Vaidyas, you finish your Vaidya course, but how do you apply it? How do you change your life system? Everybody has something which is worrying you. Somebody is asking you when you are having a sorrow, how do you manage it? I said, sorrow is ignorance. No reason why you should be sad. You can convert the same sorrow into happiness. Like today I could have been sad, I didn't sleep. I am so happy that the thunder woke me up, otherwise I would have slept off. And I could complete the whole work and feel so good. The feedback has started coming. Many people said, yes, we should work on these lines. And I got calls from different people. So it's an attitudinal change that we need. So instead of feeling sympathetic about it. So I was choosing one of the books and found a book called The Soul Food. And it's a beautiful book. And this has wonderful stories. I thought I could share some of them with you. It unfolds. We may have only a vague sense that our story is unique. Each one of us is a unique one. But we always try to compare and say, I am little less than the other, or I am either better than the other. There is no second duplicate copy. There is no carbon copy of a single person. You may be a twin brother or sister, but he or she cannot be a carbon copy of you. Perhaps we would do well to meditate on our life path, to ask periodically such questions as, who am I? Where am I going? What's my heart path? Then listen carefully minutes in one posture. The reason is some part of the body or other part is aching. And to get out of that aching only, you should start to yoga. Now I used to do yoga long back. After that, various reasons, running around mad all over the world. Never found her. She came into my life and she wrote a beautiful book called The Shakti Yoga Shakti. I was asked to release the book. Going through the book, I was so impressed. And just writing the book and her practice of 15 years elevated her to such a great level. She is also going to come and give a class for us here on the first day in the evening. She said, you should start yoga. I said, me at this age now with my body problem? She said, doesn't matter. I am going to take it up. So through video classes from Malaysia, I am getting the class, engage a local yoga teacher. Why I say this is, all of you should take to yoga. And you need to elevate that helps you not only by a physical condition, even your mental attitude change. The power within you. Like yesterday we did the puja. First time I was so happy that everybody sat so still. I was looking from this side to the other and could find everybody was going within. The total concentration, you did it. And that will definitely just continuous rubbing. But that 2 hours after that, during the sleep and next morning, you go back to the old practice because 20 years or 22 years or 25 years of old habits takes you away from that path. To stick on to this path, you should have continued. So yesterday we had the morning, then the class, then the puja, then today again the puja, now the class. So in this 14 days, 15 days, we definitely expect, and our earlier experience for the last so many years is at least 10% definitely change. Most of the others say, sir, 1 month, yes, after 2 months we go back to old habits. How to retain ourselves? This is where you need to build up your willpower. So they say, take your path. Stories remind us how timeless and universal is the search to find peace and freedom. Always man wanted peace and freedom, even now. The only demand and desire always for man was peace and freedom. And it cannot come from outside. Today, world over, we have peace conference by people who are in pieces and peaceless. And when they cannot have peace in themselves, who are they to recommend resolution to say how to achieve peace? And there are people who have no freedom for their own. And they are discussing and recommending to the world how to have freedom. So instead of collective approach, I think each one should individually try. And everybody keeps condemning the world is going to dogs. When in the World Conference on Hinduism, which I organized in Singapore way back in the 80s, the Minister for Foreign Affairs Singapore came and started giving a big talk. Swami Chinmayanandaji was there, you know how wonderful his mouth can be. So the Minister started saying, 2,000, what is going to come to name? And he made a wonderful speech, everybody clapped. And like ministers normally after speech get up and start walking, Swamiji held his hand and said, Mr. Minister, please sit down. So I said, this fellow is going to get it. Swamiji said, maybe your end is coming. So I'll definitely convey my condolence to your family today, but I am not going to end. Neither the world is going to end. And it blasted him. So all this is in your mind about death and passing away and all this. And in our Dharma we always say you have no death at all. Maybe like you change your t-shirts and shirts, you may change the body, you continue to live. And that's why you see prodigies today. A 2-year-old child playing mridangam or tabla, how do they do it? Who taught them? It's a carryover of the last birth. Many of you must have been born into Vaidya Parampara. And that's why the minute somebody takes a class, you say, somewhere I heard it, maybe in your last birth, it's not this birth. But you shifted back because you could not hold on. Now again you got to church, and always what we say, it is very rare to get a human birth. So don't miss this opportunity to take an exit. Exit from rebirth. And when you are born, what is the biggest problem we be living? You are happy, but most of the time we are sad. To escape from sadism or escape from peacelessness of not having freedom, the way is not to be born again. So this is a wonderful opportunity, and that is the main purpose of ours. Being a Vaidya and being alive, making a livelihood of doing this great karma of trying to help others in work is only incidental. That is not the main purpose. But most of the time we get fascinated by that, either as a successful Vaidya or a failed Vaidya, which keeps us worried. We forget the purpose for which you have come. Like if you come here and you are going to go to the town for shopping all the time, that's not the purpose you came to Coimbatore. Same way you came onto the earth for a very clear purpose. And each one has been designated with a purpose. But you have a clash within you, and that is what the Bhagavad Gita, the Krishna within you and the Arjuna with you. Arjuna is your head which is so confusing, and the heart which gives you a clear direction. But we have no time to listen to the heart, and that's why be calm, be quiet. And once the heart is very clear that you are continuing to be quiet and calm, it starts talking. But in the beginning it is so scary, and we don't want to hear the voice, so we keep drumming. Or we keep fiddling with something because you are scared. Hey God, what is this message? And Ramana Maharshi got a message, get out of this place, go and sit on the hills. Buddha got a message and he walked out of the palace. Many of you are getting it, many of us are getting it, but we don't get it. I was in the final year of Ayurvedic college. Towards the last exam, I said, this is not my business. Learning this Vaidya, I don't think any of us have improved better than what I was in that condition. Because it's a rotten syllabus that we have. And therefore I told over my question paper, answer paper, left to my principal and said, let me go out of this. They said, what are you doing after spending so many years? I said, my purpose I feel is something different. Instead of becoming a good Vaidya, I thought I need to create more Vaidyas, and thank God, God was kind, we could create an institution like this. So I'm sure many of you have an inner call from you, but there is no clarity. And that's why many people say, when you come to me and say, hey, I have a feeling this, but then I'm scared of it. What does it be scared? Only one thing guaranteed in your life when you're born is definitely you're going to die one. And only thing is you decide you want to go early, there are so many ways available. Would you like to wait and find a purpose? But without striving for it, don't complain and say, Lord is unkind to me. I don't find what to do. He's equipped us with enough brain, enough common sense, enough intellect, enough buddhi is there in us. But we don't know how to use it. And in the maya of making a livelihood, falling for all the fascination that we have with the gadgets that we have, we forget the purpose. So every morning at least sit and ask yourself, what is the purpose for which I am here? How do I achieve it? But we always conclude, I am not good for that. I don't have the means for that. I don't know how to go about it. More of negative, happy suggestion than positive, sad thoughts coming to you. That is the change you should make. So this says, find the our imagination touched by the tales and myths of people who have changed the world around them through the power of their own wisdom and love. My brain cannot help you to grow. I can only convey. Long back I used to ask Swami Chinmayanji and many great masters, Dayananda Swamiji. I said, Swamiji, last 20 years this man has been after you. He doesn't seem to have changed at all. And this morning when I was referring what homework should I do, there was no power, I was putting my cell phone and trying to read. I found a beautiful story. So let me complete the first part of what it is. We are inspired by the story of spiritual leaders who teach a path of peace in the midst of hatred and violence. We are equally moved by the story of a child who learns to meet a life-threatening illness with grace, or by the story of an impoverished refugee who finds forgiveness for the oppressor. As we are touched by these stories, our imagination travels beyond the limits of our individual experience. Our hearts open to feel the sorrow and courage of another person, to experience the world through the eyes of another, and to empathize with their struggle. We begin to see more clearly our own story reflected in the stories of others. So after you read every story or listen to any person, ask yourself, how is this relevant to me? When you see a dead body going, we never remember that one day we are also going to go in the same posture. We always think we are eternal, we are going to be permanent on this earth. You don't know which next minute you will be carried. And some people like me go and come back again. So, always be ready for a departure, and before the departure, see whether the purpose for which you have been sent here has been achieved, or at least make a beginning, so that we come back and continue the purpose. Timeless stories move us to look anew at our own lives. These great stories teach us not to despair, not to be swamped by the sorrow and hopelessness. They remind us in clear and inspiring ways of our own possibilities and potential. You don't know what a great potential you are. You are a great seed. You need to know how to nourish it, how to have right fertilizer, right soil, right water. And what are they? The sustenance that you go for, the workshop, the camp, the education, the type of company that you have, the type of friends that you have. So don't go get caught up in the wrong place and say, I didn't know that I would be caught up. What happened to your brain? Why were you not lucky to choose the right people? The stories of others serve as example, teaching us the possibility of great courage, love and compassion can be part of our own story. They have all experienced moments of revelation, of profound opening. These moments seem to touch us in an unexplained fashion, unexpected fashion. Yet they can make a transformative impression upon us. That's why on day first yesterday we telling, the whole purpose of a camp like Tatwaprakashini is not to give you knowledge of Ayurveda. You're already full of knowledge of Ayurveda. But how do you transform yourself into it? How do you apply it for the benefit of others? By making it beneficial for others, how do you benefit? Ultimately, yes, we need to make a living. But my simple question is, did you choose your parents? All of us have been lucky to have the right parents. We never chose our parents. If God can be kind enough to bring us into birth in the right family, this is not His bloody responsibility to take care of us till the last. But there you become so egoistic, so great manager that you think you can manage your life. We manage, mismanage, and then go to the Lord and say, oh God, why did it happen like this? He laughs and says, yes, you tried, you miserably failed, you came with it. But when you go to Him, you are in the last in the queue because a long queue of people who forgot it. We never remembered He created you. You never registered your cell phone number with Him. Had you registered in good days, during bad days you would have picked up your phone. So you are on the waiting list, and by the time your queue comes, maybe your life has ended, or you have committed suicide before that. So, good times. None of us today, by God's grace, have big problems. None of you are running a big family that you've got to earn for them. All of you are looked after by your parents, most of you. So this is the time. Spend some time for yourself. Spending time for yourself means spending time for God. But ultimately we say, it is He who is you. But then there's a thought for many saying, how can He be me? For that, take the trouble of reading master's books. Like in school, of course in college and university you don't have a timetable, except for class hours. In personal life in school, we have a timetable. Create a personal timetable for you. What time do I wake up? Not that like even dogs and donkeys wake up exactly on the dot. Except man. Why? I was so late at night, as though you are running the country. Except watching horrible films on the TV and city. And like a fool again cries like the actors and actresses there. Go to bed at time, you have a purpose, they have no purpose, their purpose is acting. So we can't question them. But you should have the common sense to see, right, time for me, wake up on time, there's a time for prayer, there's a time for body management, there's a time for mind management, there's a time for soul management. And we have been given enough and more material in the various Upanishads that they have. There are 161,000 Upanishads, which now we are condensed, say there are 10 Upanishads. And many people come and say, can I ask you a question? And you think as though he's the first man on earth asking a question. It's a bullshit question that he asks. And these are all the answers that lie in the Upanishads. But you don't want to take the trouble of looking into it. And today you don't have to look up, just Google it. All great mantras are available, all the material that you want. When Kerala was in floods, maybe I'm the only one who never sympathized, though I'm from Kerala. I said, you ask for it. There are so many miracle mantras which can stop the rain. I have experienced it. I have seen people doing it. And they are not qualified universities, not qualified people. There's an ordinary carpenter lady who used to wear only a gunny bag. After emptying the rice in it, she'll cut it and wear it. And one day I went with a great musician to sing for her. It was pouring like this morning. She said, you want to sing? By the time there was a huge gathering of people, she just looked up at the sky and there was a Paurnami day, full moon day. The rain stopped, the clouds opened and there was a great lightning left this nature at 9, 10 o'clock. And when the crowd became too much and he couldn't stop it, because everybody wanted a filling song, he was a famous singer, Jesu's music. I was just wondering how do we communicate to his mother? She was sitting far away listening. She must have got the message. She created the rain again. When we went backwards, she smiled and said, you want her to stop it, isn't it? But today, where are those people? And they don't want to act today because they know that they should suffer. I have a simple technique for which I have been helping my friends and the Christians and Muslims and Hindus in Coimbatore when they have a marriage in the family. I call them and tell them, look, tomorrow is predicted. This is the technique you should observe. And they call back and say, thank you so much, what a wonder. Just after Murtam, the rain starts. There's a book called Sound-Relay, creation written by Shankaracharya, 100 shlokas. All the 100 are mantras.
Please subscribe and press on the bell icon and never miss the upcoming updates from Hitam Ayurveda.